All right. I get into conversations like this on a regular basis, and it's amazing how much misinformation there is in real estate about truly what do you do to succeed. And if I ask most real estate agents how to succeed, it's leads, it's contacts, it's follow-up, it's all this kind of different stuff. And what's interesting is that while that is very important, don't get me wrong, you're missing the boat if that's what you think it is. I had a conversation with multiple people over the past few weeks, and we talk about process, and their definition of process is following up and getting referrals and making sure that you're in contact with people and putting them into the process. And again, you're missing the boat. If I ask the same question to a professional athlete, and let's say that they are in basketball, and I say, okay, you're going to become a three-point shooting specialist. Do they start at the three-point line when they start practicing? No, they start under the basket. And once they figure out how to actually put their feet in the right place, how to bend their knees, how to place the ball in their hands, how to follow through once the shot goes, and when they start making those, then they start backing up. Only when they have done that thousands and thousands of times do they actually get to the point where they're shooting three-point shots consistently. And that's what we miss in real estate. If you talk about some of the greatest artists of all time, some of the greatest musicians of all time, you think about Michelangelo painting the Sistine Chapel, you think about Beethoven and creating the Fifth Symphony, you think about all of these different things. Did they start with those goals in mind as that was their focus? No, what they started with is practicing. That's the key that we're missing in this business, is practicing and mastering our fundamentals. We don't do it. And guys, that's not picking up the phone and making a phone call. It's practicing your script. And as a matter of fact, instead of just talking to it, let me show you the difference in real dollars and real numbers of what adding something like practice on a daily basis will do for your business. Let me share the screen. When you look at this process, here's what you're looking at. The average agent takes 15 real estate conversations to set one appointment. 15. And let's go through this. Average sales price, just for assumptive purposes, $350,000. Average commission, 2.5%. Appointment to agreement ratio. That means that when a real estate agent goes on a buyer appointment or a seller appointment, they get about 60%. And if anybody ever tells you they get 100%, they are flat out lying to you, because there's something that happens. Even if somebody doesn't show up for an appointment, well, you're not at 100%. The agreement to contract ratio, on average, 70%. Contract to closing ratio, on average, 70%. And let's take 2 weeks of vacation a year. Let's work only 5 days a week. Let's assume a 70-30 commission split. Whatever yours is different. If you want a copy of this, send me an email to admin@rockstaragent.com and I'll send it to you so you can play with the numbers yourself. And let's think that you're going to get 2 conversations a day, just 2, 5 days a week. That's 10 real estate conversations a week. The average agent is having 15 conversations. In other words, you're setting an appointment every other week. That means you're going on 33 appointments. You're going to have 10 closings a year. You're going to make $60,000. Think about this. If over the next 30 days, you took 30 minutes a day and you started learning where to put your feet like a basketball player does. You started learning how to play G flat like a musician does. You started building the foundation to your house by actually pouring the foundation. Oh, wait a minute. You have to dig and flatten and level that piece of dirt first before you do that, don't you? You learn where to put your feet. And in real estate, what's that? It's learning how to convert a lead to an appointment. If you practice that process, practice your scripts, practice the things that you're supposed to do, and you get better at your craft, and in the next 30 days, you go from 15 conversations to 10. You just gave yourself a $30,000 raise, not by working any harder, But by practicing your craft and getting better at setting an appointment, that's what we miss. Let's take it one step further. Let's say that you get better at setting that appointment, and all of a sudden you start practicing your buyer presentation, your seller presentation. If you're not using one right now, man, you're getting your butt kicked by somebody who is and who's good at it. So let's practice those presentations and present your value to people so that they know what you're going to do and you have a better success ratio. If we change that ratio to 7 out of 10 instead of 6 out of 10, remember, let's start at 60,000. 7 out of 10. Watch what happens. Well, your base level went up 10,000. Your total level went up $45,000. $45,000 increase in the span of 2 months, 60 days, practicing putting how your feet go on month 1, practicing learning how to bend your knees in month number 2. Well, let's take it further than that. Let's say that instead of those lower commission fees, we start practicing how to show our value correctly so that we get what we want in that. And maybe we take that to 2.75%, just 1/4% more, and get better at doing that piece of it. Remember, we started at $50,000 or $60,000, right? Look, you just added another $7,000. You added $17,000 to the starting base. You are now up, wow, $50,000. In the span of 90 days, you gave yourself a $50,000 raise, not by doing more, not by following the process of following up with people, guys. We should all be doing that, and we know we don't. But by building the foundation and mastering your craft, by painting more, by playing the piano more, by shooting and working on the foundations to shoot a 3-point shot, by starting closer to the basket, by mastering our craft. As until we do that, the real estate industry is going to stay what it is and is going to have an 85% plus failure rate. Start practicing your craft. Put in 30 minutes a day, just 5 days a week for the next month, and see what that does to your business. And then continue it past there. If you've got a team, if you're building a team, set it up so all of them are doing it. Watch what happens to their success, and in turn, your success if you're doing it. All right, let's truly master and focus on the process and get away from what all of the noise is out there to sell you leads and to tell you that you need more leads, because here's the reality of that. You already have enough leads, you just don't know what to do with them. All right, go get them.